Hello, beautiful, magical you. I have no idea what wants to come through for you today. I just know that I was called to sit here and record and bring through a message for you today. Today was one of those days where, for my human, if I'd had a day like today and it's only just afternoon, like I think about, 12:20, somewhere there. If I'd had a day like today or a morning like today 2-3 months ago, my nervous system would have been in absolute disarray. And this is such a beautiful space to be in, because I've been feeling this more and more, and I know that the collective that I'm speaking to is a collective of beings who have been experiencing that too, experiencing like what it means to surrender to yourself, like to you, to truth, to the universe, whatever word resonates. Because I feel like it's not a surrender at all, really. It's more like, I'm going to use the word like an advertising term, like this call to action, right? All that surrender means is that you let go of everything else so that you can be fully present here now with whatever is going on, whatever direction, pull your reality is kind of calling you to flow. There's actually nothing that you're letting go of. Just all the ways that were never meant for you to be. And today was one of those days where everything is just becoming more and more like funny in a way. Silly 219. Like I have just been seeing and experiencing the silliness of all of it almost. But like the silliness of worrying about being late, of something not working out, of not getting to check things off your checklist, of all these things that take you out of like your present moment. Like I have often shared here some of the sort of what I can only really call them special moments, because they're really special for my human, but they're special in an alchemical way as well. With my daughter, like nap time is this magical. It's this magical time because it was and has been a time where a lot of stuff has come up for me, a lot of fear, a lot of just so much stuff. Could spend an entire hour speaking about the stuff, and it still wouldn't cover all of it, right? In these 2.5 years, but it's been the most enlightening time. Like now for me, it's meditation time. It's where I get to be like one with my reality, and I literally watch. See, my human is resisting this, but I watch when my brain, like a thought arises or something kind of wants to pull me away, and I'll watch. It's literally like I can see the thought that's stirring in my mind, stirring in my reality, because I'm not there fully present, experiencing, breathing, being one with this being, like being fully present in my now. And those pockets, because for me they're like, it's such a matter of what's become. It used to be something that I feared. I promise you, my human had so many fears of failure, not not getting it right, not knowing what they were doing. There was so much that came up for me, And I don't know, maybe it's like that for every new parent, but I have no idea it was like that for me. And yeah, this fearful space became like a sacred space, because I began to see it for what it really was. Anything that was arising in this space was me out of sync with perfection, me out of tempo with the universe, me out of sync with like magic and miracles, like me. Anything that was coming up, anything, I knew like it was me. And I gave myself the permission, the curiosity, like the permission to be curious about like, okay, let's like completely remove everything from this space. Like it's just like a game space almost. And just go and be curious and like see and play around. And at first, how I started, right, to get through this uncomfortability was breathing. And I don't know why I'm feeling called to share all of this today, but hey, since she was little, one of the songs I used to kind of hum to her it ended up being a mashup of like two Bob Marley songs, sort of, I think, but with like its own little version. Anyway, not gonna sing it, but I initially started breathing to this rhythm, like singing it in my head and just like breathing, so like breath work and like humming. And then this brought me present, this took me out of my head, this took me out of fear space, doubt space, shame space, guilt space. And that's where I started. And I don't even know how long I was sort of in that space for, but it was a while. It wasn't like it was, because a lot of stuff in that space, that's where a lot of stuff came up. Like if I was getting frustrated that it was taking so long, now I can go, hey, there's only now what's going on. But back then there was a point of, oh, but I need to record a tarot video. I need to do this. I need to do this. It's my only time. Like, why is she taking so long to fall asleep? Like, she's exhausted. We've been up since 4 a.m. Like, she should be sleeping. And this is also where I learned, like, when you try and force your reality in a particular, like, direction within, like, expectation, as well as, like, it doesn't like to, like, people don't like to, they feel that, and innately they resist that, right? Innately they feel that you want to be somewhere else, that you're trying to rush this. And children are a beautiful example, because they are speaking their first language perfectly, frequency and energy, words or something that they're now learning. But they know, like, they know. An example of that, like, would be one of the things that sort of didn't go according to plan today. I thought my little one would, or she's 2.5, for those of you that are new, the tarot cards will come out, friends, but this is just how the message is being called to go. I took her to Holiday Club because she really likes to bake, and there was a baking day, but very much with the, would you like to go? You don't have to go. And if you don't enjoy it, tell them to call me and I'll be there right away to pick you up. And she wasn't sure, but with the, Mom, I can come home at any time. Yes. She was like, okay, cool, let's go. I don't know what it's like for other parents with a 2.5-year-old, because my 2.5-year-old has quite an extensive vocab, so we can have conversations like this. So anyway, I got the phone call and off I was to pick her up. And when we were in the car, all she said to me was, Mum, like, only when these particular people are there, she's like, she doesn't feel comfortable in the energy, she didn't feel comfortable in that frequency. And I mean, there we go, right? They don't need to understand the why. They don't need to ask the questions of, well, why do you only want to be there when that person's there? Like, as adults, like, so I don't ask her those questions. I don't know. You can maybe I don't have anything figured out. I'm the first one to admit that, but it just feels right for me to just trust her feeling, right? Because that's how I try and guide her. And this is the thing, friends, is like I feel like you are an empowered being that is here to empower other beings through like bringing them back to the heart of things. Okay, the message seems to be developing a little bit more. All I know now and all I'm hearing is that at the core of your it's message, it's like, imagine like sort of a message in a bottle type thing. That's what I'm seeing. And there's a million trillion bottles out there in the ocean, and it's the resonant one. Like your bottle, when you throw it out there, it will find not triple 111. It will find like the one that it's meant to, and it blows their mind. It shatters a limiting belief in such a way that they're forever changed. Like kind of like Neo in the Matrix, right? Like he gets offered the blue pill or the red pill, except this offering, right? And there is a message. I know that if you resonate with me, you are a being who is here, like who has a message to share with the world, like, and it has to do with your not your human story, but like your human experience, right? Your experience as a non-human, thinking that it's a human, remembering that it's not a human, and evolving, right? Because you are evolving, your consciousness evolving, and you're aware of it, right? Like, there is wisdom simply in you being and breathing, and it's felt. So this message, it's like, for me, I know part of my purpose here is to do with, like, let's call it the alchemy of mothers, but not necessarily anyway. But I don't know much more beyond that exactly. And I feel like you know, like, it's music, it's cooking, it's a book, it's writing your story, it's a podcast. Like there's something in you that is calling for you to be shared, calling for you to share, and like you're human, you're wounding. It like has you downright scared, right? That's what it's like, it's not just cold feet. It's like, okay, the only thing I can, wow, this is such an interesting transmission. The only thing I can compare it to would be, I was married once, but even, like, I was actually married before my wedding. It's a funny story, but nobody really knew. It's yeah, and at the wedding, which was one of those beautiful flamboyant things, as I was kind of walking down the aisle and my dad had me in tow, I wanted to stop. I was like, no, stop. But the band saw me and the music started playing, and like my dad's, and there was nowhere to go, barring like letting go and like, you know, everybody knowing that I needed a moment or a pause or running or whatever it was. And that's kind of what I'm feeling here. Like, is this like, and by the way, it's yeah, anyway, just this pause, this absolute like, oh, I can't do it, everyone's gonna, I don't know. And this threshold is one that you have to cross. It's like, how do I put this? Okay, now I know why they're giving the like using the wedding analogy, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm sitting here, my human's going, but like it didn't end well, and I like, even like at the time I knew this man was not for me, this wasn't for me, but it was for that Naomi. Okay, so Source is bringing this through in this way because this threshold that you're gonna cross, like for some of you, this thing, all the things are gonna work out. For some of you, it's because things aren't meant to work out, but it's gonna provide everything that like the future now yous need. Does that make sense? Until like those future now yous have created the like higher timeline for those future now yous. Does that make sense? Like that was very much a necessity on my journey. Without that, like, wow, I mean, I don't even know. So it's not about things working out, not working out, because it's always working out. Like it's a perspective shift. And yes, hindsight is 2020, and it's really, really easy to look back on things. But I feel like you're a being that is able to see the tapestry that you have been weaving this entire time, like even from a child. Like I feel like for some of you're maybe getting memories or flashbacks or dreams of like decisions or even like feelings of embodiment, like of when you were little, of like these, I want to say, big bold moves that like would make your like, let's say the adult version of you 2 years ago terrified, right? But there was no fear, there was no doubt, there was no shame, there was no mucking about. And where are they going with this? Okay. Yeah, okay. So you're if it doesn't work out, it's not meant to. There's a perspective shift, right? You're like being called to be a little kid before, and this has come through before they experienced like self-doubt, before they experienced like the shaming of other, and internalized the shaming of others, like before the cage was put on them, 555, right? You're being called to cross this threshold with no expectation at all. And that's the funnest, most beautifulest, magicalest place to be, because when you're in that space, whatever the fuck happens, it doesn't matter what it is. You know that it's unfolding for you. You trust it. You just get to be there, experiencing it, one with it. Like, okay, no, like no doubting it. That source is not even letting me use the word not. Like it's just no doubting it. Like no doubting it. Like doubting is not even an option. Okay, friends, I need to just grab a sip of water. The cards are coming out now, but my water is over there, so I'm gonna just be right back. Okay, hey. So as I was, just before I hit record, all I kept hearing in my head was, I don't even know who sings this song, but like it's the smoke on the water, and just that going over and over again. I feel like there's something, isn't it, like not Pink Floyd, Purple, I don't know, but like I feel like, I don't know, something about this deck is bringing that up. And I know that there is a story there, like in the human world. I don't know what it is, but if it resonates with you or something, go and check it out, because that just came through out of the blue. Okay, so for those of you that are still here and who don't know me, my name is Angela. I'm a channel of and for Source Consciousness, just like you. And this channel is here to remind you that you just need to be you. That there's nothing else that you are being asked of, or that is being called, that you're being called to do, or that's being asked of you, 111, except to just follow what speaks to you, what calls to you, follow your flow, follow your inspiration, follow your passion, and then follow through with your frequency. And I know that this message is about you spreading like the message. I'm seeing this is really strange. I'm seeing Cupid, okay, which is really interesting, and this is kind of cute because it's like Cupid love and like Cupid's arrow. Okay, whatever card that is, the 8 of Wands. Magic. I always see this and feel this as the magic card. Lots happening, but I'm seeing Cupid shooting arrows, but like with messages like rolled up scrolls, like, and the arrows are like pierced through the scrolls, like kind of like I want to say like Robin Hood days, like through doors. So it's like your message is really coming from like a place of love, because you're Cupid. You're this people that you're this magical being, mythical being. Wow, this is beautiful for you. That brings people together. I also am seeing, I'm seeing these papers, these scrolls shift into like invitations. I'm feeling concert tickets. It's like you bring people together, right? And you're Cupid. It's from this place of love, like, and love like creates more love, and your message, it's like, in a way, it's like it's piercing, right? It's also, it hits its mark, it hits its target, but it's hitting doors, right? It's not like hitting, it's like people can choose what they do with this message. They can choose to receive it. They can choose to, like, okay, where I live, I'm in South Africa, for those of you that don't know. They still hand deliver newspapers like a sort of advertising newspaper every Thursday. Like, many people appreciate that. Some people just take it and put it straight into the trash, and neither is good, neither is bad, right? And it's the same with your like, it's this message. Wow, it's a message that pierces the heart, right? But like, it pierces the heart. I'm seeing the heart, and this is not your heart that I'm seeing, right? I'm seeing the hearts of the people you touch, like, that experience you, that feel you, that are liberated through your being, right? Not your teaching, not through your creations, through your being. I see like your piercing messages, these heart-piercing messages. Like, some hearts are covered in ice, some are like, it's like every chastity belt in the world like is entwined. Some are just like rusted, like there are just so many. And these arrows, these messages, this sound of you, this frequency of you, this activation of you, you know, it's like you activate people. You break open their hearts. You break them open. Okay, cards are coming out. Page of Swords coming through, and now I know it's for more than just me, because when I was asking this deck when it's to be used, this came through, and for me it was very much a choice, and I feel that energy here, a choice to stay in the mind space, or a choice to play in the unknown. And this is what every now is. it's this choice, choosing to play in the mind or choosing to be here present in the unknown. Like, you can only know your like your okay, let me just breathe into this. You can only know your now. Your now is an echo, but it is only in your what you choose to reflect back to the echo, right? What you choose to reflect back. That is the only thing that can change the echo. So you are moving first. I feel like you're ready to cross the threshold. I feel like you're ready to, I'm seeing pull, like a plug being pulled, like pull the plug on something. Something that was noisy, something that was busy. This could quite literally be like, I'm going to stop, I'm going to quit something, but this could be like pulling the plug on, like, I don't know, your TV, like something that was really noisy and just creating clutter in your reality. Okay. So if you're able to, please close your eyes. But regardless, just taking a moment, 5 breaths. I'm hearing 5 deep, full breaths with each and every breath into that heart space, acknowledging you, your light, your magic, your divinity, and then with each and every exhale, surrendering to the perfection of you and your now, exactly as it is. Breathing at your own pace, just breathing into that heart space. Breathing in fully to capacity and releasing to emptiness. Okay. The 8 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. For me, this is really about an energy of leaving with the 9 of Cups and the 9 of Pentacles on the floor. I find this really, really interesting. We're in the 7-7 portal I'm reminded of right now. And this is a portal of abundance, right? The 9 of Cups. Okay. The only card that is face up here is the Page of Pentacles. The 9 of Cups is really about the embodiment of knowing that everything is working out for you. If it's happening for you. It's the bliss before bliss. It's like the knowingness that everything is shifting in your favor, that you don't need to worry about anything. And the fact, the 9 of Pentacles, I love the birds that she's holding, flowers. There's this connection, right? You've made this connection to truth. And it is beginning to manifest in the material world because you are choosing to be the being that holds the light, that holds the truth, that like is the rock that the sea beats against type thing, right? That's this energy. I feel like you if you are still here, is a being that has done 111, an immense amount of inner work where you've looked under the hood, 911, and you've shifted what needed to be shifted. Okay, I'm going to take a look at the other cards. The 8 of Pentacles. Okay, so we have 8 and 8. 8 of Cups, 8 of Pentacles. The 8 of Pentacles is speaking about like creating and trusting the creations that you are creating, that you're called to create, planting the seeds that you feel called to plant. We have the Four of Wands, the Justice, the Six of Cups, and the Four of Pentacles. Something about twos, doubles, anything in like 1111, anything that is more than one, it's multiplied. There's this amplification. Okay, let me just breathe and read into this energy real quickly. I'm being called to take the top card, the Five of Swords. Interesting. Okay. I feel like, okay, immediately with this Justice card, the feeling is here that, like, all I'm hearing, the past is no longer present. You let yourself off the hook. Really interesting. Okay, because of obviously the way she's holding it, right? In the shadow, you only see one thing. Okay, there have been doubles. There is this like two becoming one, and I'm saying this is 1, 2, 2, 1, like two becoming one, two becoming one. There's a seeing through the illusion of justice. It's really funny because if a shadow could see, the shadow would see exactly what she sees, right? She's blindfolded. Nothing. There's nothing to see. There's no justice to seek. There's no amount of knowing evidence that can shift or bring anything into balance. There is no balance to be found in the external world. The only balance that can be found, 111, is internally. You're being celebrated each and every time. Okay, we have the Four of Pentacles. We have the Four of Wands. The Four of Pentacles can speak to, and this is the energy and this is the feeling of this message. It's like you can do no wrong. There's no right way to say what you came here to say, to create what you came here to create. There's your way. And it doesn't matter what you do. It matters the frequency and the energy that you do it in. So if you're following your calling, but you're not following through with your frequency, it's the frequency and the energy that, like, yes, that your follow through matters. You've dropped the energy, now is all that matters. So there is this feeling of like, I feel here with this Four, I'm going to pull a clarifier, but I feel here that it's like for some of you, it's like you've tried before, you've put this out there before, and things didn't maybe go according to plan, or there was resistance or something. The Seven of Swords, the Queen of Cups. Yeah, there was like resistance, and it's stuff, I think, what you experienced in those times, or like let's say you've been writing a book for a really long time, and at one point in time you shared a section with somebody to read and the criticism was bad. Like, I'm bringing it through this way, or it's coming through this way, because I feel like your wound was really, really triggered, like your abandonment, not being seen, not being good enough, whatever it is, rejection. It was really, really like activated in that not working out. But that was by design, okay? That version of you was not ready. This now version of you is ready. So yeah, even here, it's like you can choose to defend your excuses. You can choose to defend your fears, or like the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Cups, you can choose to kind of like let it all go, like to actually let it all go and truly know that that doesn't exist anymore. There's only now. And you are not the same. And I know that you can feel that in every fiber of your physical being, as well as like the vastness that you know that you are. So there is a release. There is I'm seeing a signing of a document, right? Sources calling for you to come and climb out. Sources calling for you to partake, right? I almost see this as, it's like somebody that's too scared. Oh, I love this. This is fun. Somebody that's too scared to plant these seeds, to actually like leave them there and put the soil over and walk away, because they just don't trust enough. And you're really being called to plant these seeds and to like not watch them, to put the soil on top, put the water there, allow them to sprout and grow and flourish and be all that they're meant to be. The Six of Cups, it's like these seeds can only grow if you trust. Your message matters. Not like it matters in more ways than you're human, than my human, than any of us could possibly imagine. You taking time to create the message, whether nobody else receives it, matters. How do you feel when you were creating it? Did you feel expanded, excited, ignited? That is enough. The world will, like, how do I put it? You're not here to be validated, although you are here to lead. And there are people that will see you, will like feel called to connect with you, to like not like follow you in terms of like, oh, following it, like, but like that you resonate with. And there will be those that you don't. But friends, this Four of Wands, it's time, 911, 912, it's time for you to be the light, to plant the seed, to create the thing, 1921, to put yourself out there. I don't know why this is coming through. Maybe for someone it's like just putting yourself, like, it's not like necessarily dating site, but that's kind of what's coming through. But also like a job site, like uploading your CV, or like applying for the job that you think you're never gonna get, or like something like that, like for whomever that is. I'm going to see if there's anything else that wants to come through in the tarot, because I feel like there might be more. Definitely something, friends. There we go. Okay, we have the Seven of Wands. Hold the pose, which is actually just not thinking about anything and just being present with whatever's going on. and not attaching to the thoughts and not needing the validation. Like, look at the size of that wand versus that wand. You have discovered, remembered your power, your strength, your worth. The Eight of Swords, the Ace of Swords. You're no longer so many eights, so you may have been seeing a lot of eights. But I love it. This is a 7 coming through on the 7-7 portal, because you are in a portal. One where you can choose to be on the defensive, or one where you can choose to be in the now, present, experiencing, playing. Like, her eyes to me look very closed. There's a rose in her hand, right? There's this image of, you know, like if you go to a show, like a ballet, or I almost said the Oscars, but I'm thinking Phantom of the Opera type thing. So often, like, people throw flowers on stage, and flowers are given, and it's like, with this 7, with you giving yourself permission to be that final 7, like, you know, in the slot machine, 7 kitching, you giving yourself permission to be that final 7. It's like you giving yourself the roses, right? It's like you're stepping on stage and you're going, I don't need anybody to enjoy my message, to appreciate it, to validate it, to whatever. I'm feeling called to speak it, to share it, to do whatever. Yeah, it would be awesome. I'm sure it would be fun for my human. It would be a fun experience to experience like that. But it will be a fun experience, or whatever, to experience whatever. And it's this, I give myself the flowers. Like, I don't need anyone to validate me. That's what I'm feeling here in this 7 of Wands. It's like, you are no longer moving in restrictive ways, moving in ways that were not necessarily for validation, but more so like you didn't want to disappoint, right? Like, there's this walking on eggshells, but yeah, you didn't want to disappoint people. And that, there's a new perspective. Like, you're no longer playing the role of anyone. You don't need a crown to be a king. You don't need a crown to be a queen. You don't need shoes to be a ballet dancer. I feel like you've experienced a lot of ego death in this last week, which is funny because a week is 7 days. But I feel like it's been 7 days of feeling intense energies, maybe physically, maybe feeling like emotional, maybe like a lot of release. But I feel like there's been something since the start of July. Okay. Let's see what wants to come through here. I'm going to shuffle again, friends. Mystical sister, sorrow, mystica, and winter. Yeah. You know what? Okay. I do not believe in coincidences. Also, I'm all about resonance. But when the cards fell out earlier, 10 came out, and I was like, oh, this one feels, but then there was like 2 more, and I wasn't sure. The book opened on 10. I'm going to read it. If I feel called to take another card, I'll shuffle and retake. But I don't have the card out. So, there's a black and white version of it. Tin is a silvery white, highly malleable metal. This is in part because tin's structure is composed of crystals in cubic or tetragonal formations that can be broken or crushed under moderate pressure. When the crystalline structure breaks, a sound known as the tin cry can be heard, hence the unnerving sound of crinkling tinfoil. Such is the energy of the tin card. On one hand, it is in tin's superior nature to expand, to mobilize, to cover the whole territory. On the other hand, the metal cannot withstand much weight or pressure. When this card appears, you may have reached a limit or breaking point after taking on more than is logistically possible under the circumstances. Don't take this juncture personally. More strength is required before taking next steps to support the expansion you see in your mind's eye. Look at Andy Warhol's 1966 installation Silver Clouds to ponder reflection as illumination. Be like tin today. If a good cry or wail, friends, even as I'm reading this, like I'm feeling so much like emotion. I don't know if you see my eyes like starting to like well up, but like honestly, anyway, let me just breathe through. But be like tin today. If a good cry or wail needs to be heard, let it happen. It'll release the pressure in the laboratory and you'll have a whole new perspective. And I really feel like there is somebody that needs, or more than somebody, because that's quite intense, and it may even be me, but that needs a really good cry. In esoteric wisdom traditions, Jupiter and tin are associated with the liver. It's possible the liver may have a wise message to reveal, perhaps about excess and balance. Interesting. Okay, friends. So, something that I have noticed, I'm not feeling called to take another card there, but I'm gonna just take 3 from here, or however many come out. I have noticed since July, and this message is timeless, so a week, that like there has been a lot of emotion that's been coming up. Like there's been a lot of like stuff. And maybe you're sensitive like me, and I'm bringing this through, this is coming through because a lot of it is collective stuff. There's a lot of density that's being released at this time, like globally, and yeah, like you're feeling some of that, and it's for you not to store it in your body, because the mind goes, why are you sad? Why do you want to cry? There's no reason to cry. But your body knows, right? Your body is just doing what it knows to do. So if you're feeling random like things, like do not suppress it, right? Because it's not yours to suppress. It's not yours. It's just you have a beautiful, unique ability for density to be alchemized and like freed through you. There's also ancestral stuff here. Take any of this if it resonates, or don't. But do not bottle that shit up. Like it's not yours to bottle up. It's coming to you to pass through you, because you're at a level where you can do that. Okay. So we have the Archer. Funny, because their message was about what didn't come through with Cupid. Biding your time, planning ahead. No. Okay, that's just another shuffle there, but there's definitely, okay, it's this one. Okay, the Queen and the Cartographer, a crossroads, exploration. And the Queen, determination and sacrifice. I'm gonna read the Queen. It's actually just, I could summarize it, but the words, when I was familiarizing myself with this new deck, the words, and we open right there if I'm not mistaken. The king. No, yes, the queen. The words just really hit. The throne room is an austere affair, lined with tapestries and portraits of past rulers. At the far end of the throne commands attention. It represents power and sacrifices made by those who have sat on it. Occupying it now is the queen, sitting tall and proud, ready for a day full of difficult decisions. But this is a position that they have worked hard to reach, and they will not shy away from the responsibilities that have come in the wake of their ambition. You've let a lot of things behind. You've let go of a lot of things behind in order to get where you are now. But regretting your decisions will only tarnish the glory that you've achieved. There will be more of these challenges in the future. Come to terms with the fact that achieving your goal is worth every one of them. There is this element of sacrifice, a crossroads, exploration. As I saw this crossroads, I'm reminded of the folk tale, I don't know what word to call it here, a bit of like the crossroads where many of the jazz musicians went, or I don't know if it's many, but I'm not even going to say names because I feel like I'm going to say the wrong name, but where they sold their souls to the devil so that they could play their music, right? This crossroads exploration. You're done selling your soul. It's like you're walking away from the crossroads and biding your time, planning ahead. You know when to move. There's just this feeling of when to push send, when to push publish, when to push record, when to pick up the paintbrush, when you're inspired, when you're connected. Trust those moments, friends. Okay. Thank you for creating 3333. This message with me today. Thank you for being the beautiful, magical being that you are, with much love. Until next time, blessings and love. Bye-bye.